Hey, what's up, guys and girls? Jesse Daley here in the U.S. Virgin Islands. The weather here is pretty nice, but my friends in Florida, we have a really serious situation happening. A major hurricane may be headed directly for the west coast of Florida. This is one of those situations in weather where we all just need to follow this very closely day to day because things can change very quickly. Let's take a look at what the National Hurricane Center is currently looking at. Okay, my friends, let's take a look at what's happening today here in the tropics for Sunday, October 6th, 2024. And a lot is happening in the Atlantic Basin. We're going to start today by talking about Hurricane Milton in the Gulf of Mexico. This system is getting stronger and stronger as it moves in an easterly direction, eventually forecast to strike the west coast of Florida around the middle of this week. As of the 4 p.m. Central Daylight Time update from the National Hurricane Center, Hurricane Milton is now packing winds of 85 miles per hour and traveling to the east at around 7 miles per hour. The National Hurricane Center noted in this update that the system is rapidly strengthening, and at least over the next few days, conditions will be favorable for intensification to continue. We can see on this infrared satellite image, courtesy of tropicaltidbits.com, that there is a lot of deep convection occurring. The pink colors and gray colors around the center of the storm indicate very high and cold cloud tops, indicative of strong convection and a strengthening storm. A separate trough or area of low pressure will be influencing the steering of this storm, which is why the National Hurricane Center expects a turn to the northeast relatively soon. At this time, the general consensus among computer forecast models is showing a landfall somewhere between the Tampa area or a little bit north and the Naples area or a little bit farther south around the middle of the week. Here's the thing, my friends, and this is what personally makes me concerned about this system. There's a lot of uncertainty here, and there's just a few days until the storm is supposed to hit Florida. First, Milton has developed in an area of the Bay of Campeche near the southern Gulf of Mexico that does not regularly see lots of cyclonic development. Most storms that do develop this far in the Gulf to the west and south don't make it all the way across the Gulf of Mexico. And actually, according to an article in NBC News, since 1850, only 2 storms that originated there have struck Florida. None have done it in the past 155 years, with the last to take that path recorded in 1867. So obviously, this is quite unusual. Another uncertainty involves the possibility of the storm encountering wind shear as it approaches the Florida Peninsula. Wind shear, which is shown in red on this forecast map from the Global Forecast System and courtesy of tropicaltidbits.com, can help to tear cyclones apart. But Milton is expected to intensify so quickly before encountering the possibility of wind shear that regardless of whether or not this happens, it might not make much of a difference in terms of significant weakening, because this could still be an extremely dangerous major hurricane at landfall. The uncertainty honestly reminds me of the mixed messaging that occurred before Ian. Hurricane Ian made landfall in Florida in 2022 as nearly a Category 5 storm when it had been predicted for days at being a much lower intensity storm. After that storm hit, it actually helped me to influence me to go back to school, and I obtained a certificate in weather forecasting from Penn State University. The point is here, my friends, regardless of the category that this storm is at landfall, it's going to likely cause a lot of damage if it strikes Florida, and the computer models do believe that it will reach at least Cat 3 status and likely higher. Remember that the storm surge and rainfall are also very, very dangerous. This is especially true if the storm affects Tampa Bay, where we could see extreme storm surge upon landfall. As I mentioned in my previous video, everyone from the Keys up to Tampa and along the entire west coast of Florida and the Gulf Coast should watch this closely. If you live in this area, consider your evacuation plans and your overall hurricane plans right now. A more concrete storm track will likely be available in the next couple of days. Finally, we have a couple of other systems, Hurricane Kirk and Hurricane Leslie out in the Atlantic. These storms are forecast to stay out to sea, but Hurricane Kirk could eventually bring inclement weather around the Azores Islands of Portugal and possibly even portions of England and France. Pretty wild. Follow this one closely if you're in the region or traveling to that area. Also, a tropical wave is forecast to move off the west coast of Africa this week. I'll keep a close eye on it. Please follow the National Hurricane Center, my friends. Things can change very, very quickly. My friends, thank you very much for watching this video. Please follow the National Hurricane Center as often as you can, and please hit that subscribe button here on Daily Weather so you don't miss another video. Thank you for watching, and as always, I will keep an eye on the tropical skies come rain or shine.